Hey everyone, so if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I recently went to Ireland with my husband. This video is actually going to be a little bit of a breakdown of what we did for the whole trip and also a review of the trip itself. Throughout the trip, we toured 4 different castles, and Great Value Vacations provided the international flight for us. They also provided the rental car that we used, and they arranged all of the accommodations for us as well at each of the castles. Each of the castles is a hotel. All that being said, I'm going to kind of go through the day-to-day, or what we did each day and where we went each day, and let y'all kind of see that. While we were on the trip, I did take footage, and hopefully you can get some ideas if you decide to do this specific tour, things you can do while you're in Ireland. So we left on a Saturday. We flew out from San Antonio to JFK, and then from JFK we caught our international flight through Aer Lingus. We ended up arriving at around 6 a.m. in the morning. So when we arrived on Sunday, we went by our rental car location, which was Dan Dooley Rentals, and they gave us a Nissan Micra, which is basically a compact car. And we drove that Nissan Micra for the entire week. It was automatic. So once we got our rental car and set off on our way, we took off to Cabra Castle, which is the first stop with the Great Value Vacations tour. Cabra Castle is located a little ways outside of King's Court. The castle itself sits on a pretty huge estate. As you're driving up the main driveway to the castle, you can see just beautiful green. It's actually a big golfing area all throughout it. So that was really cool. And as we pulled up, the castle itself is quite breathtaking as well. We checked in and got to our room, and the room was really nice. I mean, it was what you would expect, I think, from a mid-century castle that has been converted to a hotel. So because it was the first day, Sunday, and we were incredibly jet lagged, we played it pretty cool the first day. We did go down and have dinner in the restaurant, or in the restaurant that is within the hotel. Very lovely restaurant. We both had Irish steak, which was incredibly delicious at Cabra Castle. So after we got breakfast, we took off to Newgrange. Make sure you go to the visitor center first, but they actually shuttle bus you to Newgrange. Newgrange is the oldest known burial site of mankind. It's older even than the pyramids by a good 500 years or something like that. And if you're a little claustrophobic, just be aware that you do go inside Newgrange, but it is very, very tight. So if you are a claustrophobic person, just be aware of that. So we woke up the day of St. Patrick's Day, Tuesday morning, and checked out of Cabra Castle. On the way out, we said goodbye to the Irish wolfhounds and snuggled up with them a little bit because they're pretty cool, and then set off to Donegal to head to castle number 2, which is Loch Esk Castle. Pretty sure I'm saying these names wrong. Loch Esk Castle is in Donegal, and once again, the views were breathtaking on the way. Lots of countryside, lots of sheep, lots of cattle, past a few tractors. Really cool. Loch Esk contrasted quite a bit to Cabra Castle in that it was a little more modern. Loch Esk Castle also had a full spa. My husband and I didn't actually do anything in the spa because our mindset was like, we're here in this other country, we're gonna go do stuff in this other country, We headed to the closest city, or the closest town, which is Donegal, and checked out the parade. One thing that we were really upset about was that we only got to spend one night at Loch Esk Castle. It would have been really cool to stay there a little bit longer because that room and that hotel was just so nice, and it's the only castle that I think is actually relatively close to a decent sized city. I think if that's something that Great Value Vacations would want to rethink or redo, is giving you an extra day at Loch Esk. So on the way to Kilronan Castle, we stopped at the Sleeve League Cliffs. One of the excursions that you can do and optionally purchase in through Great Value Vacations is the Cliffs of Moher. We didn't, even though we purchased it, we didn't actually go and do it because we realized it was just so out of the way from all the hotels. So we ended up finding the Sleeve League Cliffs, and I'm really happy we did those. The Sleeve League Cliffs are actually free. Right before you hit the cliffs, there's a little cafe restaurant that gives you information on them, as well as gives you a little gift shop and has different snacks and beverages and whatnot. And those cliffs were breathtaking. I definitely recommend checking out the Sleeve League Cliffs if you are in Ireland, in that part. Kilronan Castle was, for me and Mr. Hallease, our least favorite castle of the trip. I don't know, it just, compared to Cabra Castle, which is like your more conventional, what you would think a castle would be, you know, and then going to Loch Esk Castle, which is just kind of like luxury 5-star feel to it. Going to Kilronan was like, That being said, Kilronan does offer quite a few things. They also have a spa at Kilronan. We didn't partake, but they do have one. And they also do have fine dining. We did eat at their restaurant. The grounds were actually very, very pretty. And there was a lake right nearby as well, which gave a lot of picturesque views and whatnot. And they also have different paths that you could walk. But that was cool too. We kind of went outside, got some fresh air, did some trekking, things like that. That being said, Kilronan Castle does seem to be very popular. There's a lot of weddings that seem to happen there. A lot of people get married there. And I can totally see why it'd be a great location for that. We went to bed and kind of played it cool the next day. We really just kind of relaxed and just kind of slept in and just hung out, you know, at the castle. Because at this point, you know, we've been driving every day for at least 2 to 3 to 4 hours, getting to different places, seeing different things. One thing about this trip that was kind of hectic was it is a good amount of driving consistently. So if you live in a place where, you know, being in a car for 30 minutes is like so long for you, this particular vacation might not be up your alley because you are driving a lot. We checked out of Kilronan Castle, drove straight to Dublin for the day, and spent the day there. We found just a random parking garage on, I want to say St. John's Street, and just explored Dublin. We went by St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is like, you have to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral. And while we were there, there was a young choir practicing, which was really cool because their voices filled the halls of St. Patrick's Cathedral. The thing about Dublin is that I really would consider it like a smaller New York. You know, you are going to see a lot of different ethnicities and types of people represented there. I mean, we fit in compared to most of the rural cities that we went to, which were predominantly Caucasian. Being a minority in Ireland, to me, didn't feel that weird. because I don't know, it's like, it's not like they were looking at you as if you're I think in America, as an African American, you tend to get looked at with this sort of just kind of just like confusion, or just like a projection of just, I think, automatic fear as an African American, or as being black. In Ireland, most of the people just kind of looked at me with, I think, just excitement. Ooh, you know, someone, you know, that we don't usually see, you know. There isn't that. They're staring at you, but it's a different kind of stare, you know. It's a different kind of stare. It's more of just like an excitement, honestly. Dunboyne Castle is, I wouldn't consider it a castle. Wouldn't consider that a castle. It's a really pretty building. The room was pretty basic, nothing too extravagant about it. They had really great Wi-Fi. Dunboyne, best Wi-Fi for sure. And I liked their bar area. Their bar area was really good, and their bar food was good. So that was the whole trip through the Castles of Ireland tour that we took through Great Value Vacations. All in all, it was a really great experience, and I feel like we definitely got our money's worth. Working with Great Value Vacations to get the whole trip planned was pretty easy. Didn't take much at all. Every hotel knew we were coming. There wasn't any type of reservation snafu or anything like that. Great Value Vacations held up their end of the deal. We ended up seeing Ireland for exponentially cheaper than if we had tried to do the whole thing ourselves and book everything ourselves. So we'll definitely be using them again, and I would recommend them. If you're the type of person who just wants a deal, a travel deal or a travel bargain, definitely look into Great Value Vacations and the things they offer. I know I will. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Have you ever been to Ireland? If you have, let me know what your trip was like and if you would go back. And I will see you when I see you.